Welcome to my Mars retrograde in Cancer and Leo that I'm calling a time for reflection and reassessment. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional Western and evolutionary astrology. I'm excited to share this month's astrological transit forecast with you. Please like and subscribe as it helps the channel to grow. If you are new here, you can learn more about my offerings at willowgracemystic.com. And for those of you who've been following me, thank you for your support and for sharing your journey with me. As we approach Mars retrograde, we're now going to enter into the shadow. It's essential for you to understand the impact that this transit can have on our lives. Mars is the planet of action and passion and desire, and it's our assertiveness. It invites us to reassess how we pursue our goals and how we manage our energy. And when it stations retrograde, it's asking us to transform this area of our life. Now, in astrology, Mars rules our drive, our ambitions, and the way that we assert ourselves. And so it symbolizes how we take action. It's how we express our anger or how we pursue our desires. When it's direct, Mars supports this forward movement. It encourages us to really push forth with confidence. However, during its retrograde, the energy then shifts more to inward, and we're encouraged to slow down, to reflect on how we have been asserting ourselves, how we have been addressing these unresolved conflicts, or reconsidering our strategies in how do we achieve our goals. So when Mars stations retrograde about every 26 months, so not very often, therefore it's really important. So it's making this significant transit in astrology. During this period of forward momentum, it's now going to start to slow down, and we're going to all experience these changes in our motivation, our energy, and how we achieve what we are setting out to accomplish. It's going to be a time to tie up some loose ends that we initiated for these new projects. Key dates for this Mars retrograde transit for 2024 all the way to 2025 include, we're starting off with October 4th, 2024. Mars is then going to enter its pre-retrograde shadow. There's a pre-shadow and a post-shadow. The pre-shadow covers the areas of the beginning of the phase of reflection. It's going to be at 17 degrees of Cancer, and it will be an area of your life where we're going to reassess. Pay attention to the themes that arise during this time, that because it's going to intensify as the retrograde approaches. Then on December 6th, so now it's gone forward. On December 6th, it's then going to slow down, station, and move retrograde. It will be at 6 degrees of Leo. So it's covering over two houses, two areas of your life. This is when Mars is now going to turn inward. The themes are going to be related to action and assertion and even conflict of how do you face obstacles. You might find yourself questioning how have you been pursuing your goals. This will be a time that you're going to want to re-examine your path and the energy that you've put forth into various projects that you've been following or pursuing. On February 23rd, 2025, Mars is now going to station direct at 17 degrees of Cancer. So this will signal the end of the retrograde period and the lessons that have been learned and the inner work that's been done of the retrograde. Now they're going to manifest in an external action of how can I move forward with this motion to resume and now clear up any misunderstandings. On May 2nd, 2025, Mars is going to leave its post-retrograde shadow at 6 degrees of Leo, which means it has now moved forward, gone backwards, and gone back over the area. So until the May 2nd, when it gets to that 6 degrees of Leo, this will conclude the entire retrograde. And so by this time, this is where the obstacles that you faced earlier are now behind you, and you can now move forward with this renewed clarity and renewed purpose. When Mars stations retrograde through Cancer and Leo, the signs themes, they now are brought to the forefront. Now in Cancer, Mars struggles. This is emotional assertiveness. Cancer is a water sign. Mars is like cutting, like a sword or a knife. And it's hard to cut through the water. So it prompts us to confront, how do we handle our emotional boundaries with personal security? This retrograde may be here in order to bring up any unresolved family or home-related matters to the focus. Then Mars is then going to backtrack into the fiery sign of Leo. This retrograde is then going to challenge, how do you express yourself? This could be creatively, or how do you assert yourself individually? Questions about your self-confidence, your pride, all of these topics are likely to arise. This period is going to ask you to truly redefine, how do you want to show up in the world? And how do you use your personal power to inspire others? The shadow period is going to start on October 4th of 2024, and it's going to be a crucial phase for you to watch, because during this time, the issues, the themes that you're going to encounter are now going to resurface during the retrograde itself. So pay close attention to what challenges or what obstacles that now come up during the pre-retrograde phase, because these are markers of what you're going to need to reassess during the Mars retrograde period. The retrograde is going to especially impact anybody with personal planets or points between 6 degrees of Leo and 17 degrees of Cancer, like anywhere that's within that realm, as also with the other cardinal signs of Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, because that will either square or oppose. If you have significant placements in these signs, expect this retrograde to really highlight these areas of your life where these planets are placed in that sign, in that house. The Mars retrograde cycle is going to offer you this powerful opportunity for deep reflection, for healing, and for strategic adjustments. Remember, it comes in to help you cut and sever. Use this time wisely to refine your approach, to resolve these lingering conflicts, and prepare for these renewed action once Mars is able to move direct again. Offerings this month: join my Patreon community for exclusive astrology content. As a member, you're going to gain access to ad-free videos, early forecasts, monthly live tarot and astrology Zoom sessions. It's the perfect space if you're ready to dive in deeper into the celestial currents of your life. Go to the link below in the description and explore all the membership tiers and benefits. Specials for all Scorpios: celebrate your birthday with a personalized solar return at a special rate. Use the code Scorpio10 to enjoy this limited time discount at checkout. Schedule your appointment today and discover what the universe has in store for you for your year ahead. Additionally, I'm offering live astrology consultations every other Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Reserve your spot and get in the queue as spaces fill up fast. So be sure to sign up using the link below. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you in order to help you navigate your unique journey. So let's dive in. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, Mars is your chart ruler. It's always important for you to be following where Mars is, what it's doing, and the houses it is navigating. So Mars is going to retrograde within your 5th house and your 4th house. The 5th house, the focus is going to be on creativity, children, romance, pleasure, and your inner child. When it retrogrades into the 4th house, the topics of home or family, your living situation, your personal life, anybody that is within your home or the foundation of which your life is built upon. So Mars retrograde in your 5th house of creativity and children, it's going to prompt this deep reevaluation of what are your passions, what are your creative projects. You might experience these creative blocks or a reevaluation of your passions or these creative projects. Some of these things can now manifest as frustrations in the way that you express yourself. Romantically, you can have past issues that can now surface. This could be lovers coming back, or you might need to reconsider, how do you approach love and pleasure just as a topic in general. If you have children, this can be a time that you will need to address any unresolved matters that are related to parenting, your parenting style, or your relationship with your children. As Mars then takes the shift back into your 4th house, expect home and family topics to now come into focus with the same themes, like you're bringing the 5th into the 4th. And so Expect to visit or revisit old family dynamics or issues that are related to your living situation. You might face delays or setbacks if you are working on home-related projects such as renovations or relocations. This could be a time for reflecting on your emotional foundations and how your family life affects your personal sense of security. Use this period to truly take some time to rekindle these old creative projects that you enjoyed or hobbies in order to resolve these lingering romantic tensions that you may have with others, or to nurture your inner child. Be patient with family members and focus on creating a home environment that supports your emotional health and well-being. Aries, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. And if you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to subscribe. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, the two houses that are going to be affected for you are your third house of communication, neighbors, siblings, cousins, and making new friends, and basically the house of communication, and your fourth house of home, family, foundations. The fourth house is your living situation, but it's your house, your property, your city, your state, your country. And so Mars is moving forward, and it's covering this area that it's going to be stationing retrograde. So the topics of home, family, communication, and learning are all going to come to the forefront. Mars retrograde in your fourth house, it's going to bring up emotional security. It might bring up any unresolved issues that have to do with family to the forefront. There could be this tension with relatives, especially around matters of responsibility and in caregiving of others. You might feel frustrated with some home-related projects or decisions about your living space. This will be an opportunity for you to reassess how your home environment impacts your emotional well-being, or whether changes need to be brought to the surface in order to foster peace and stability at this time. Now, when Mars moves from your fourth to your third, the topic of communication, learning, and your local community is now going to be brought to the forefront. You're going to be prompted to review your interactions with your neighbors, your siblings, your peers. Miscommunications are likely to need you to revisit old conversations or old contracts. Remember, Mars wants to come in and cut and sever. And so this can be a really good time to rethink short distance travel plans or your educational pursuits. Delays in learning or processing information can occur at this time, requiring you to have more patience, more focus. Take time to resolve any family disputes or reconfigure your home space so that it's comfortable for you. And when Mars moves back into your third house, be clear and concise in your communication. Double check all important documents and focus on completing these unfinished learning projects. These could be classes, workshops, or anything that has to do with diving in and understanding, or like coursework classes, any of those topics. So Taurus, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. And if you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to subscribe. So for Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, we are talking about Mars transiting through your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, your personal resources, and moving into your third house of you communicating or taking a class or workshop or neighbors or siblings. And so it's going to move forward in these two areas, and then it will slow down, stop, and rewind. And so the focus leaning on your finances, your resources, your self-worth, the way that you communicate, all of these topics are now going to be brought to the forefront in order for you to cut, sever, or remove. With Mars retrograding into your third house of communication and siblings and local travel, you may experience like a slowdown in your mental processing or find that communication now feels frustrating. This is also the house of technology, and it's the way that you gather information and share information with others through email, computer, all of those topics. And so that you can have these misunderstandings with everybody, like misunderstandings with siblings or neighbors. These can be brought to the surface, and these old issues, they might require attention, like where you're going to want to cut, sever, and remove, like get to the bottom of what the problem really was and not avoid it. If you're working on any projects that are related to writing or teaching or learning, expect to have delays in the way that you're going to have to revise the way you approach things. Short trips or local commutes, they can also be disrupted during this time. As Mars then shifts into your second house of your finances, your possessions, your self-worth, it's going to be a time that you're going to want to reevaluate your financial strategies. Are you managing your resources effectively? This period is going to bring to light a need for a reassessment of how you earn and how you spend money. Additionally, this transit, it can ask you to take some time and reflect on your self-worth and what do you truly value? Like, what do you think is the most important thing to you? Is it possessions? Is it people? Is it time? Your skill set? Financial setbacks or delays, they can happen during this time period, but these challenges, they're ultimately here to help you strengthen your relationships with your money, with your skill set, with your finances. Use this time to focus on and resolving your lingering communication issues and clarify misunderstandings, to reassess your financial decisions. Focus on building your self-esteem to ensure that your spending truly aligns with your values. And so, Gemini, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Cancer, this is all about you. It's about your identity. It's going to occur in your first house of self, who you are, projects that you want to launch. I always say that the first house is like your business card. It's your website. It's you being seen. It's your name, your identity. And then it's going to also move forward and then retrograde through your second house of self-worth, cash, property, your money, your resources, your finances. Mars here is really focusing on and prompting you to reassess your relationship with your finances. Are you valuing your resources? Are you using them wisely? This is going to be a time that you're going to want to address any financial missteps, or for you to take some time and review like how you use your resources, how you have been earning and spending. You might experience like a shift in your sense of your values and your self-worth, asking you to take some time and evaluate whether your material possessions, do they align with your true values? The second house is the house of what do I need in order to feel secure? As Mars then moves back into your first house of identity and your personal assertion, this retrograde is really going to push you to rethink, how do you assert yourself in the world? You might feel frustrated in your efforts as you move to push forward with personal projects or personal goals. This period is about refining your approach of your self-expression, ensuring that your actions reflect your true desires. If you've been overly aggressive or overly passive, now it's going to be the time that you can look to find this balance in a way of, how do I assert myself? I encourage you to focus on reviewing your financial strategies, reviewing your money, your resources, your skill set. making sure that they truly align with your core values. When Mars moves back into your first house, use this time for some self-reflection and make the necessary adjustments in how you assert yourself for the way that you pursue your personal goals. So Cancer, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the latest updates. So for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Cancer is your 12th house of hidden or healing. It's the house of our subconscious, our dreams, our intuition. It's where we go to sit, to be alone and connect with the spiritual realm. And then Leo is your first house of your identity. It's the house of where I want to launch a project or how people see me. It's my website. It's my business card. And so for you, this is going to bring topics around your personal identity, your self-expression, spirituality, an opportunity for healing karma. Mars retrograde, first in your first house of yourself and your identity, is going to ask you to now take a step back and reconsider, how do you assert yourself in the world? You might feel blocked, you might feel frustrated in your efforts in order to make progress, but this is going to be an opportunity to fine-tune and focus on your personal goals, for you to reflect on how you project your personality and whether your actions are they in alignment with your true goals, with your true self. This retrograde, it also brings about these issues that are related to your physical health and your vitality. So take this time to make sure that you're focusing on self-care. Then, as Mars moves back in through your 12th house, the house of spirituality, emotional healing, your subconscious, the dream realm, deeper emotional issues can now surface. This is going to be a time for isolation or yoga, meditation, for introspection, in order for you to focus on healing past wounds, old fears, anxieties, or any unresolved emotional baggage. It can now bubble to the surface, giving you this opportunity to address and release them. Use this period for spiritual growth and for a time of internal reflection. Focus on your self-care. Be sure that you reassess your goals when Mars is retrograde in your first house, because when it moves into your 12th house, this is going to be a delicate time that you're going to need to dedicate some time for isolation, for meditation, in order to focus on your spiritual practices, meditation, and healing any unresolved emotional issues. So Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your Cancer house is your 11th house of friends, social circles, networks, groups. It's like your community, whether it's for work or for pleasure. And the Leo house is your 12th house. This is the house of your subconscious, dreams, intuition, karmic. It's the house of where we do the shadow work. And so having Mars now go through your 11th house and move into your 12th house in order to take a backward turn, it first brings topics to your subconscious healing, friendships, long-term goals. Mars retrograding through your 12th house is going to be the house of spirituality, the house of hidden matters, its secrets, the house of subconscious. It's going to bring this deep period of introspection where you're going to have this opportunity to confront past fears, anxieties, or self-sabotaging behaviors. The 12th house is where somebody says something to us and then we have have this broken record and we believe it, or we put these things upon ourselves. And so you're going to have this opportunity to release yourself of the broken record of self-sabotaging behaviors that need your attention and need healing. This is going to be an excellent time for a retreat, for meditation, for spiritual growth. Pay attention to your dreams, these intuitive insights, connection to your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, your guides, as they can provide these clues to any unresolved emotional issues. When Mars then backtracks into your 11th house, this is the house of friendships, groups, and these long-term goals. It's now going to be a time that you're going to want to reassess your role within these social circles that you belong to, or how you approach your bigger, your larger aspirations. You might experience tension within friendships or within group projects, or you might face delays or obstacles with like teams, or with where you support the collective, like group dynamics where you are with other people. You might experience tension. This is going to be an opportunity to realign your long-term goals with your true desires in order for you to reconsider your social connections with others, and do they support or do they hinder your progress? Use the 12th house transit for this spiritual and emotional like healing for yourself. And when Mars then moves back into your 11th house, focus on building this supportive friendship network and realigning your long-term goals. So Virgo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you are looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the latest content and updates. So for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your Cancer house is the top of your chart. It's your career, your job, your reputation. It's what you aspire to be and the legacy that you want to leave behind. Your Leo house is your 11th house of your friendship groups, your goals, the people that you align with in order to achieve those goals, or it's your social community where you want to give back to others. And so having Mars traverse through both of these houses, it first brings attention to the retrograde in your 11th house of friendships, groups, your hopes for the future, and it might bring some tension or some conflict within these social circles. This can be with work, within teams, or it can be like with your star family or your kindred spirits or these collective activities. You might feel like you are disconnected to some of your friends, or you might experience delays or being uncomfortable within these group projects. This is going to be a time that you're going to want to reassess how your social networks and connections, how they align with your long-term aspirations. Some friendships may need to be redefined or let go of if they no longer serve your growth. This will be a time when you're going to want to go through your Facebook or your Instagram or your phone and just look at who you're connected to and look at the alignment of where you spend your time. Now, as Mars then shifts back into your 10th house, this is your career, this is your public reputation, this is your life direction. So expect a period of a professional reevaluation. You might feel stuck or frustrated on your career path, but this retrograde is going to give you this opportunity to reflect on whether your ambitions, do they align with your authentic path, your authentic self. Challenges can arise within your professional life, but if you they're going to really push you to reassess your goals in order for you to make the necessary adjustments in order for you to move forward with clarity once Mars stations direct. I encourage you to reevaluate friendships, any long-term goals, focus on your professional growth during this period, and expect delays in career matters. That these can be frustrating, but use them as an opportunity to experience a realignment. So Libra, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. And if you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the latest updates and insights. So for Scorpio sun, moon, and rising, the two houses that we are focused on are your 9th house, which is the house of cross-cultural experiences, travel, fun, joy, pleasure, but it's getting out and meeting with other people. It's the house of publishing, the house of legal matters. It's the house of spirituality and higher knowledge. Then Mars is going to station retrograde in your 10th house of career, your public life, responsibilities, the house of authority. Mars is going to it's making its first path through both of these houses. And when it stations retrograde, it's going to be first in your 10th house of your career, your public life, really bringing attention for a time of reflection on what are your professional goals. It's going to be you saying, am I on the right path? You might feel frustrated, or there might be this, like with your career progress, or experience conflicts with authority figures here. This can be a time to reassess your ambitions, or how can you experience how you are pursuing them. There can be issues around public recognition or leadership that can now be brought to the surface, asking you to really refine what is your approach to success. What do you feel success is? What is it to you? Now, when Mars moves into your 9th house, it's going to take those same themes into higher learning, travel, your belief system. It's going to be a time to reconsider your worldview, your philosophies. You might feel you need to question these long-term held beliefs, or that you find your education or your travel plans have now been delayed. This will be a time to reassess really what guides you in your decisions and whether your personal beliefs really align with your current life direction or life path. Reflect on your career ambitions. Try to make these adjustments that align with your true decisions and your desires of where you want to move forward. When Mars moves into your 9th house, focus on expanding your worldview and questioning any outdated beliefs that you have that no longer serve you. So Scorpio, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. And if you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the latest updates and insights. So for Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising, your 9th house is going to be activated because it's the house of Leo. Leo in your 9th house is your beliefs, it's cross-cultural experiences, it's the house of travel, it's the house of publishing and legal matters. Mars is also going to retrograde back into your 8th house of your shared resources. This is the house of deep bonding, taboo topics, and so it's the house of transformation and intimacy. Having Mars traverse back through both of these areas of your life first brings the focus to higher learning, shared resources, intimacy in my belief system. It might challenge your worldview, it can bring delays with educational or travel plans to the surface. You might find yourself questioning these long-held worldviews that you've had, or these philosophies or your beliefs that just no longer resonate with you. This is going to be a time that you might want to reassess your goals in either education or in travel and in your spiritual growth. Delays in legal matters or long distance plans, they're also possible to come up at this time. As Mars moves back into your 8th house of your shared resources, the house of intimacy, the house of deep bonding and transformation, issues that are related to your joint finances or to deep emotional bonds can now come to the surface. And you might need to reassess, how do you manage your shared resources, your debts, your inheritances? All of these topics are where you have your resources combined with somebody else's can now come to the forefront. This can be a time that you're going to want to confront your fears or your insecurities that are related to emotional intimacy and within trust in your partnerships or in your relationships with others. This can be business and this can also be personal. Reevaluate your beliefs, your travel plans when Mars is in your 9th house. And when it moves into the 8th house, focus on healing these emotional wounds and reassessing your approach to shared resources and your deep emotional connections. So Sagittarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your Cancer house is your 7th house of partnerships. The 7th house is you plus somebody else. I call it the +1. Business partner, significant other, clients, open enemy, exes. It's the house of negotiations and contracts. Now, your Leo house is your 8th house of transformation, taboo topics. It's the house of deep psychological connection to other people and their resources, of where your resources are mingled with theirs. And so having Mars move forward through your 7th and into your 8th and then back over, the focus becomes around your shared resources, the opportunity for transformation, relationships, and partnerships. Mars retrograde in your 8th house of shared resources and intimacy and transformation brings a focus for you on your financial matters that involve other people. This can be an ex with alimony and child support. This can be through debt, such as it could be bankruptcy. This could be joint accounts, debts, investments. This can be a time to revisit any financial agreements or assess whether they're fair or whether they're balanced. You might also face emotional challenges during this time that are related to intimacy and trust. This period is about releasing these old fears. It's about transforming your approach to shared resources and your deep connections with other people. Now, when Mars then stations retrograde back into your 7th house of partnership or relationships, the retrograde can bring tension or conflicts within these close partnerships. This can be both in personal and professional. You might need to reassess the dynamics of these relationships and address any unresolved issues. This is going to be a time period where you're going to want to reflect on, how do you assert yourself, whether it be in partnerships or with clients, or whether your wants, needs, and desires are being met, because Mars wants to cut and sever through some things. Now, avoid a focus, or I'm encouraging you to focus on resolving financial and emotional issues that are related to shared finances. Don't avoid those taboo topics. The 8th house is where we're afraid to ask questions. We're afraid to bring some things up. And so I'm encouraging you this is going to be the time that you're going to have those heart-to-heart conversations, or those deep conversations. And then when Mars goes back into your 7th house, work on improving your communication and balance within these close either partnerships or relationships with either business or best friends or significant others. So Capricorn, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your Cancer house is your 6th house of your day-to-day living, your day-to-day habits. How do you nurture and care for yourself? How do you find a balance between home and work? And your 7th house, Leo, is your partnership sector. That's the 1+1, you plus somebody else. That could be with a client. It could be with a best friend, a significant other. The 7th house is love, contractual agreements. It's legal matters. And so having Mars now move forward through these 2 houses, and then it's going to backtrack. The themes revolve around relationships, partnerships, health, your daily routines. When Mars retrogrades in your 7th house, relationships with all types of partners can be highlighted. Any unresolved issues with your close connections are now going to be highlighted, like brought to the surface, like see it with a magnifying glass. You can face challenges in your romantic or your business partnerships where conflicts might arise due to like misaligned goals or needs or desires. This is going to be a time to reassess, how do you engage with other people, whether it's in your partnerships that are built on this solid foundation. Our old patterns in relationships, looking at them and saying, I need to look at these, I need to address them for a deeper healing, an opportunity to like look at these and say, this is where I have let things slide. Mars needs to like cut to the core of it in order to heal and renew. And so when Mars then moves into your 6th house of your health, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, health, well-being, finding a guide, finding a mentor, your work, finding a balance between home and work, your daily routines. The focus is now going to shift to your day-to-day living. You might feel frustrated with work. You might find that your health routines need adjustment or need focus. It's going to be an ideal time to revisit your approach to wellness and efficiency that's within the workplace, like cutting away things that are taking away your time. Delays or obstacles within your daily tasks are likely to come up, pushing you to refine your methods for a better productivity for your health. And remember, this could be like going to the dentist, or this could be seeking out a chiropractor or a mental health care practitioner. Take some time to resolve these partnership, relationship issues that you have with others during this retrograde. Focus on improving your health and your daily routines. When Mars moves into your 6th house, reflect on how you can create these healthier balances between your work and your personal life. So Aquarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. If you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to subscribe. So for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your Leo house is your 6th house of your, it revolves around topics of your day-to-day living. It's your health routines. It's seeking out a counselor or a guide or a mentor. It's taking care of self, but it's also how I serve other people. Cancer, your Cancer house is your 5th house of fun and joy and pleasure, children, creativity, lovers. And so Mars going through both of these areas of your life, the first focus is going to be on your work, your health, your routines. It can bring this frustration in your daily life of, how do I find a balance between home and work? You might feel blocked, you might feel delayed in your work projects or in your healthcare routines that may require some type of a reevaluation. This is going to be an important time for you to reflect on how your daily habits, they contribute to your overall well-being. Are you scheduling the appointments? Are you making sure that you're taking care of yourself? This is going to be an important time to make sure that you're putting your needs first. Use this time to assess where you might need to make changes to improve the efficiency of your health, because you cannot be of service to others if you are not healthy yourself. As Mars then backtracks into your 5th house, it's the house of creativity and romance and self-expression and your children. So now it's going to be time to rethink your approach to pleasure and fun and joy and love and creative pursuits. And so these creative blocks might come up or arise. You might need to revisit like old hobbies or old projects, ones that once brought you joy. And romantically, unresolved issues can now come up within these love relationships. They can now surface, like bubble up. It's in Cancer, bubble up to the surface, giving you this opportunity to take the time to heal and strengthen these connections. I encourage you to focus on refining your daily habits, your daily routines. When Mars is stationed retrograde in your 6th house, and when it moves into your 5th house, focus on reconnecting with your creative passions and your creative desires. Resolve any lingering issues within your romantic relationships or with your children. So Pisces, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer you full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below. And if you're looking for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And don't forget to subscribe.